Okay. Okay. Are you comfortable with English or Telugu? Both. So Arshad, I think only 85 participants are joining daily, or else only today.
No, in case of weekends, only I am getting 100 participants like that. In normal days, around 150 to 200 students are joining daily from Monday to
How
Friday.
much?
150 to 200.
Okay. Okay, guys. సో క్లాసెస్ మీకు డైలీ బాగా అర్థమవుతున్నాయా? జస్ట్ అన్మ్యూట్ చేసి మాట్లాడండి. అర్షద్ వాళ్ళకి యాక్సెస్ ఇవ్వు.
Yes, yes. Yeah, guys, you can turn on your microphone now.
So please stop the messaging in chat box. Please unmute yourself and you can speak here.
Yes, sir. Sir, teaching was very good.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, Arshad sir, class was very interesting and
Very clear.
very clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Gaud. Where are you from, Gaud?
I am from Anantapur, sir, Andhra Pradesh.
You're from Anantapur. Okay, thank you for feedback. And what about Priyanka?
Sir, I'm from Hyderabad. It's very
Okay.
clear, sir, and easy to understand.
Okay, thank you, Priyanka. So, Kavya?
Sir, the classes are very clear and we can understand, sir. And sir will clarify our doubts also in a good way so that Python, we think that Python is easy now.
ఓకే జెన్యున్ గానే ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తున్నారు కదా నాకు. జస్ట్ నేనేదో అడుగుతున్నానని చెప్పడం లేదు కదా.
Aha,
No,
line.
sir.
Hi, sir. Good
Yes,
evening.
Because, yeah, Pushparaj.
Sir, good evening. This is Pushparaj. I'm from Kakinada, sir.
Okay.
Sir explained very well and speaking clarity and vision. And he was every question tell the answers and after completion session. That's it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And what about Madhu Verma?
సార్ క్లాసెస్ అవి బాగా చెప్తున్నారు సార్.
ఓకే.
బాగా అర్థమవుతుంది సార్. టాపిక్స్ అవి బాగా డిస్కషన్ చేస్తున్నారు.
ఓకే. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Okay.
సో అండ్ వాట్ అబౌట్ ఐ నీడ్ అర్షద్, ఐఎమ్ సారీ టు సే దిస్, ఈ రోజు కొంచెం క్లాస్ ఒక 20 minutes తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ చేయి, బికాస్ ఐ నీడ్ టు టాక్ విత్ ఆల్ ఎవ్రీ స్టూడెంట్. ఐ థింక్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ 92 స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ. ప్రతి ఒక్క స్టూడెంట్ తో నేను మాట్లాడాలి. అండ్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మీకు ఇక్కడ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉన్నా, మీరు ఏమన్నా బయట జాబ్ సర్చింగ్ లో గానీ అలాంటి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏమన్నా ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నా ఇక్కడ నాతో మాట్లాడచ్చు లాస్ట్ లో. సో వాట్ అబౌట్ ఆవుల సాయి కుమార్? I need everyone response.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir. Hello.
Yes,
Sir, concept is really very good, sir.
okay.
I'm basically from commerce student. Easily
Okay.
I can understand Python.
Okay, thank you, Sai Kumar. And what about Abbas, Aditya?
Sir, when Arshad sir is taking a topic, he was explaining pin to pin and he was explaining with an example also, sir. We can clearly understand with his explanation.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ విజయ్. సో అందరూ మీకేం అర్థమవుతుందో అదే చెప్పండి, ఒకే ఆన్సర్ ఇవ్వకండి నాకు. అండ్ వాట్ అబౌట్ అబాస్?
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్.
యా, గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ పవన్.
సార్ ఇన్స్టాలో పోస్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు సార్ అప్లైకి కంపెనీస్.
ఓకే.
అవి కొన్ని ఆల్రెడీ లింక్ టైమ్ అవుట్ అని వస్తున్నాయి సార్.
సో ఆల్రెడీ మీరు పోస్ట్ చేసిన ఎంతసేపు తర్వాత అప్లై చేస్తున్నారు?
ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ ఈవినింగ్ లోపు చేస్తున్నాను.
టైమ్ అవుట్ అని రాదే, ఒక్కసారి నేను టీమ్కి చెప్తాను, దాని గురించి సార్ట్ అవుట్ చేయమని చెప్తాను.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే. సో వాట్ అబౌట్ అబాస్ షాయికా? ఓకే. సో అఫ్రిన్ షాయిక్? సో ఎవ్రీ స్టూడెంట్ మాట్లాడగలిగితేనే నేను ఇంకా తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ నుంచి బెటర్ గా మీకు ఏ విధంగా చెప్పాలనే చెప్పి నేను ఒక డీటెయిల్ ప్లాన్ షీట్ మా వాళ్ళకి ఇస్తాను. సో మీరు సైలెంట్ గా ఉంటే ఐ కెన్ నాట్ డూ ఎనీథింగ్ ఫర్ యూ. సో
హలో సార్,
అందరి
మై నేమ్ ఇస్ నాగరాజు.
యా హాయ్ నాగరాజు.
సార్ సార్ అయితే బాగానే చెప్తారు సార్, సూపర్ చెప్తారు. ఇక మాకు కావాల్సిన ఎగ్జాంపుల్తో సహా సార్. అంటే మా సార్ కొన్ని చేయలేదు, అంటే కొన్ని మోడల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా సార్. సార్ అవి ప్రిపేర్ కాలే అవి. మేము అడిగే ఏ క్వశ్చన్ కూడా ప్రతి ఒక్క క్వశ్చన్ సార్ సార్కి తెలిసినా తెలియకుండా సార్ అయితే చెప్తారు సార్. అంటే అది ఎట్లా వస్తుంది ఏంది సార్, ఇప్పుడు దాకా ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయని డౌట్లు కూడా మేము అడిగినాం. అలాంటి డౌట్లు కూడా సార్ క్లియర్ చేస్తారు.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ నాగరాజ్. అండ్ భవ్య.
No problem, sir. Sir will explain all these things.
ఓకే, సో నీకు క్లియర్ గా అర్థమవుతున్నాయి కాన్సెప్ట్స్ మొత్తం?
అర్థమవుతున్నాయి సార్.
Hello.
యా హలో సుజిత్.
Good evening, sir.
యా గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సుజిత్.
Sir, my name is Sujit, sir. I am from Odisha.
ఒడిశా. యా ఓకే సుజిత్.
Sir,
Go on.
sir was very good.
Okay.
He clarifies our all doubts.
Thank you, Sujit. So I
Sir,
think, are you
please,
from
sir.
Odisha? From which area?
Sir, Jagannath Dham Puri.
Which college?
Sir, SCS Autonomous College.
So how did you know about Aavanto?
Sir, my brother tell me that thing about Aavanto Technology.
Okay, thank you, Sujit. Okay, so
Sir.
what about Deepu? Deepu, Billa, Akansha.
Sir.
So I'm talking with
Sir,
others, Sujit.
Sir, I have a request, sir. Please speak in English. I don't understand Telugu.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So what about remaining? Sandhya.
Sir, good evening, sir. My name
Good
is
evening.
Bharat Kumar. I'm from AP, sir, Nandyala. సో
Okay.
సార్ క్లాసెస్ బాగా చెప్తున్నారు సార్. కాకపోతే పైథాన్ లో కొంచెం టాపిక్ వైజ్ గా పెడితే బాగుంటుంది సార్. సార్ని కూడా ఫాలో అవ్వచ్చని నా అభిప్రాయం సార్. అంతకు మించి ఏం లేదు సార్, అంతా ఓకే.
అంటే క్లాసెస్ ఇప్పుడు మీకు టాపిక్ వైస్ కదా జరుగుతుంది.
అంటే కొంచెం పీడిఎఫ్ లాంటిది ఏదైనా పెడితే కొంచెం చూసుకోవడానికి కూడా బాగుంటుంది నా అభిప్రాయం సార్.
సో నువ్వు పీడిఎఫ్
That's it,
అడుగుతున్నావా?
అవును సార్, అవును సార్. టాపిక్ పైథాన్ లో ఏ టాపిక్స్
యాక్చువల్ గా ఎప్పుడైతే వన్ మినిట్, ఎప్పుడైతే మేము క్లాసెస్ చెప్పేటప్పుడు మీకు పీడిఎఫ్ నోట్స్ ఇవ్వకూడదు. అది మేము ఫాలో అయ్యే రూల్స్. ఎందుకంటే నోట్స్ ఇప్పుడే ఇస్తే మీరు నోట్స్ రాయడం మానేస్తారు. మీకు మేము ఇచ్చే నోట్స్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసి ఇచ్చే నోట్స్ కన్నా క్లాస్ లో మీరు ఏదైతే విని అది నోట్స్ మీరు రాసుకుంటారో అదే మీకు అర్థమవుతుంది. మేము ఇచ్చే నోట్స్ మీకు చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఉంటుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో నోట్స్ అనేది ఇప్పట్లో మేము ప్రొవైడ్ చేయము. అంటిల్ ద లాస్ట్ ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది క్లాస్ మీకు ఖచ్చితంగా నోట్స్ అనేది ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాం. మీ క్లాస్ ని మీ నోట్స్ రాయాలి.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే.
దట్స్ ద రీజన్ నాట్ ప్రొవైడింగ్ ద నోట్స్.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే. దట్స్ ఇట్
సార్. ఎవ్రీ డే లింక్ షేర్ చేస్తూనే ఉన్నారు కదా సార్. సోర్స్ కోడ్ వాట్సాప్ లో కూడా పంపిస్తున్నారు సార్. దాంట్లో నుంచి చెక్ చేసుకుంటే ఆటోమేటిక్ గా క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఆ రోజు నోట్స్ అందులోనే ఉంటుంది కదా సార్.
అవును. సో గుజ్జుల హర్షి, are you there?
హలో సార్,
Yeah,
గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్.
hi. Good evening.
సార్, సార్ చెప్పేవి బాగా అర్థమవుతున్నాయి సార్. ఆల్ క్లాసెస్ ఓకే. నేను బాగా అంటే అర్థం చేసుకోగలను సార్ సార్ చెప్పే ప్రతి ఒక్క పాయింట్.
Okay. So where are you from, Harshi?
I am from AP, sir, Kadapa district.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
So what about Lakshmi Sharanya? Lalita Guntur? Guys, one by one cancel ఇవ్వండి. పూజితా రెడ్డి, సో ఓకే. సో మెయిన్ గా ఈ మీటింగ్ పెట్టడానికి రీజన్ ఏంటంటే, సో అట్ ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది లాస్ట్ క్లాసెస్ లో ఎవరైతే ఇన్ని రోజులు పెట్టిన ఎగ్జామ్స్ అండ్ లాస్ట్ లో ఇంకా ఆఫ్టర్ 20 days తర్వాత ఇంకా మీకు ఒక 6 to 7 ఎగ్జామ్స్ పెడతారు. అది అర్షద్ సరే మీకు పెడతారు. ఆ 6 to 7 ఎగ్జామ్స్ అండ్ మోక్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ ఉంటాయి. మోక్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ వచ్చి 5 మోక్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక ఫైనల్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉంటుంది, అవాంటో ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉంటుంది. ఈ ఎగ్జామ్స్ అండ్ ఫైనల్ అవాంటో ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఎవరైతే గుడ్ స్కోర్ ఉంటుందో వాళ్ళని డామ్ షూర్ గా అవాంటో ఇంటర్న్ గా 4.5 LPA గా వాళ్ళకి ఆఫర్ చేస్తాం. Are you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ఎవరైతే ఈ అవాంటో ఇంటర్వ్యూని అండల్స్ ఈ ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో మంచి స్కోర్ గ్రాప్ చేస్తారో వాళ్ళకి 4.5 to 7 LPA వరకు సిటీసీ ఉంటుంది.
Okay, sir.
ఓన్లీ మన కంపెనీలోనే డైరెక్ట్ గా మిమ్మల్ని తీసుకుంటాం. అంటూ దట్ వి ఆల్సో ఫార్వర్డ్ టు అనదర్ కంపెనీస్. మీ రెజ్యూమ్స్ మీ మంచి మీకు వచ్చిన స్కోర్ బట్టి మీకు వేరే కంపెనీ స్కోర్ లో కూడా ప్లేస్మెంట్ అసిస్టెన్స్ అనేది ఇప్పిస్తాం. ఓకే. ఏంటంటే మీకు ఏదైనా చిన్న డౌట్ ఉన్నా మీకు 24/7 ట్రైనర్ ని గ్రూప్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగచ్చు, ఆర్ ఎల్స్ యూ కెన్ మెసేజ్ టు ట్రైనర్. He will answer 24/7 and he will be available. I think మీకు ఆల్రెడీ మీకు ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తుంటాడు అతను.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ఈ ఆపర్చునిటీ అయితే మీరు కేర్లెస్ చేసి మిస్ చేసుకోకండి. ఇంకా ఏమన్నా ఉంటే ఆల్రెడీ మీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఇంకా కొత్తగా జాయిన్ అవ్వాలనుకున్నా యూట్యూబ్ లో ఆల్రెడీ రికార్డెడ్ వీడియోస్ ఉన్నాయి, అవి చూస్తూ క్లాసెస్ కూడా వినమని చెప్పండి. ఓకే.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
సో ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ స్టిల్ ఎనీ
Yes,
డౌట్స్.
sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No doubt, sir. All clear.
No, sir.
సో బయట అయితే ఇప్పటి వరకు అయితే మన ఇండియా ఎటువంటి రెసెషన్ అనేది లేదు. బయట అయితే జాబ్ మార్కెట్ చాలా ఉంది. మీరైతే బయట వచ్చే రూమర్స్, ఈ ఫేక్ న్యూస్ ఏవి నమ్మకండి. బయట అయితే జాబ్స్ మీకోసం చాలా వెయిట్ చేస్తున్నాయి. బట్ వాట్స్ ద మ్యాటర్ ఈజ్ మీకు మంచి స్కిల్ ఉంటే యూ కెన్ గెయిన్ ఎనీవేర్. ఈ రోజు మీకు ఇక్కడ అవాంటోలో మీ ప్లేస్ కాకపోయినా మేము ఇచ్చిన స్కిల్ తో మీరు ఎక్కడైనా ప్లేస్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఆ విధంగా మేము ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది డే కి ట్రైన్ చేసి పంపిస్తాం మేము.
సార్ ఏమైనా జాబ్ పోస్టింగ్స్ ఉంటే వాట్సాప్ లో అప్డేట్ చేస్తారా సార్?
షూర్ గా అప్డేట్ చేస్తాం. అంటూ దట్ ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే మీకు అట్ ది ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ది లాస్ట్ ట్రైనింగ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఎనీ వన్ కంపెనీ నుంచి మేమే ఒక ఆన్ క్యాంపస్ డ్రైవ్ పెట్టిస్తాం. ఎనీ వన్ కంపెనీ.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
సో బట్ ఒకటైతే పక్కా,
Okay, sir.
అవాంటో ఇంటర్వ్యూ అయితే ఎవరైతే క్రాక్ చేస్తారో యూ విల్ బి వర్క్డ్ యాస్
Sir, sorry for the interruption. Sir, please, can you speak in English?
Sir, we are not getting your voice, sir.
Your voice is not audible, sir.
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
So you are not
Yeah,
getting.
it's fine. Yeah, okay, guys. It seems like he's having some issue with internet. So there's a power cut at his area, so don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, I'll start the class now. And also, thank you for giving positive feedback. I am really happy about your feedback. So, I'm going to share my screen now. So, I think now you all can see my screen. And if you have any issues with my audio, you can let me know. Okay, fine. Thank you for confirming. And now let us start our today's class. So today is our day 17, right? So I am going to create a new folder called day 17. And inside this folder, I am going to open Visual Studio Code like always. So I am going to disable the chat section now. After discussing few topics, I will enable it again and you can ask your questions. So in our last class, which is yesterday, we have discussed a lot of concepts regarding functions, right? We have seen a lot of things like default parameters, arguments, keyword arguments, and also we have discussed about lambda functions, and we have seen a basic program to swap two numbers using Python. So it's fine. We have discussed a lot of things. And regarding to functions, I have missed one concept, which is recursive functions. So in our today's class, I am going to explain about recursive functions. After that, we are going to start a new concept called modules in Python. So fine. So I am going to create a new file here called as recursion.py. So here I have created a new file and I'm going to mute this site. Okay. Select interpreter. So now, what is meant by recursive function? So our first question is recursive function. So here, in simple terms, I can explain like this. So a recursive function is nothing but suppose if a function call is present inside the function itself means then it is called as recursive function. First, I will write the definition. After that, I will write the syntax, and again I will explain with the example. So here, recursive function is nothing but a function call is present inside function. So just read this definition. So here I'm just saying that if a function call, what is a function call? So it is a way to call a function, right? So first we define a function. After that, when we call that function, the code present inside that function will get executed. So we discussed these things in our previous classes. Now we are going to discuss about recursive function. So recursive function is nothing but suppose if a function call is present inside function itself means then we call it as a recursive function. So here the syntax will be like this. So how to define a function? We use the def keyword. After that, we give the function name. So that parenthesis, and inside this parenthesis, we will accept some parameters. And after that, we use a colon. And after colon, we will write some code which will belong to the function. So this is normal way of defining a function. In case of recursive functions, so now we know how to call this function, right? In order to call this function, we use the function name followed by parenthesis, and inside this parenthesis we issue some arguments. So whatever the arguments we are passing to this function name, those arguments will get stored in the parameters, right? So basically both parameters and arguments are exactly same. So in order to give you a difference, whatever the things which we are passing inside function call, we call it as arguments, and whatever the variables or names which are present while defining the function, they are called as parameters. Now here we know this concept. Like this, we can define a function and we call a function. Suppose if this function call is present inside function itself means then this is called as a recursive function. So what is happening here? So here we have a function called some random function and we are calling this function inside the function itself. So this is called as a recursive function. And why do we need this? What can we do with this? We are going to discuss in today's class. So here def recursion, I am creating a function called recursion, and suppose if the function call is present inside the function definition itself means then it is this is called as a recursive function. Now if I run this program, nothing will happen. Why? Suppose if I run this program, you can see here I got nothing on the output screen. Why? Because I am not calling this function outside the function call. Of course, a function call is present inside the function, but in our previous class, I have explained that whenever we call the function outside the function, then only the code present inside that specific function will get executed. So as there is no function call outside the function, this function will never get executed. No, this function recursion will never get executed because the function call is not present outside the function. Of course, it is present inside the function. So I need to place this function call outside the function also. So here first my Python program will execute like this. It will ignore line number 10, 11 because it is a function. It will not execute automatically. It will check for a function call. Suppose if there is a function call present means then only the code present inside the function will get executed. At line number 14, we are calling this function called recursion, right? And at line number 10, we have defined this function recursion. So if I run this program, then continuously this recursion function will get called again and again and again. So let me print something here like print hello, and if I run this program after some time I will get an error because it will we have some limit of recursion like 10,000 steps or something like that. So if I run this program, you can see here I got error. So I got hello, I got around 10,000 times I will get hello as output. After that I will get an error. You can see here maximum recursion depth exceeded, which means the Python interpreter is telling us that we have maximum, our maximum limit has been exceeded. We have multiple called this function multiple times recursively. We can't call it recursively again. So that's what this error. It is a recursion error, which means the maximum recursion limit has been reached. So we can check it like what is the maximum recursion limit in Python. So 1000, it is not 10,000, it is 1000. So after 10,000 recursions, it will return as an error. So that's the point here. So 10,000 after 1,000 times it will return an error. So what is happening here? Hello is getting printed 1,000 times. Why? Because there is a function call present inside the function definition itself. So initially I am calling the function from line number 15. So what is the code present inside my function? A print function and function call. So first I will get hello as output. So again I am calling the function. So again I will get hello as output. So again I am calling the function, which means the code present inside my function will get executed. So again I will get hello as output. Like this it will repeat 1,000 times. After 1,000 times, which means 1,001th time, it will return us an error, which is a recursion error, which means the maximum recursion limit has reached. So it will execute my function 1,000 times. And also there is a way to increase that limit. We will discuss that about in upcoming classes, because in order to discuss that topic, first we need to complete modules. So we will discuss that in upcoming classes, which means here the point is we can increase that limit to 10,000 or 20,000 or 1 lakh. It is in our hands. By default, it will be 1,000. So this is a recursive function. Why? Because the function call is present inside the function itself. So I am going to add another comment here as this function will return recursion error. Suppose if someone is asking you what is meant by recursion, then simply say that in case of recursion, the function call will present inside the function itself. What is a function call? It is just a method of calling a function. So suppose if there is a function call means the code present inside that function will get executed. So that's the thing about function call. In case if this function call is present inside function itself means it is called as recursive function. And also we call these type of functions as recursive functions, and also we call it as recursion. So this is the thing about recursive functions. Now there is one example, which is with the help of these recursive functions we can find factorial of a number. So factorial of a number using recursion. So how can we do this? So it is basically simple, and also first let me explain what is meant by factorial of number. So factorial of number is nothing but suppose factorial of n means it is the multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to n. Factorial of n means multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to n. So for example, so here if I say factorial of 5 is multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to 5, which means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, like this. So what is 1 into 2? 1 2s are 2, and 2 3s are 6, and 6 4s are 24, and 24 5s are 120. So factorial of 5 is 120. Similarly, factorial of 4 means 24. Why? Because 1 2s are 2, 2 3s are 6, 6 4s are 24. That's it. So factorial is nothing but multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to n. Suppose factorial of 5 means multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to 5. So now we are going to see how to find the factorial of a number using recursion in Python. So here first I am going to define a function called factorial, and this function will take a number. So I am giving n, here n is my argument, which means this function will take a argument called n, and I need to find factorial of n here. So here I am going to say if n equal to 1, then return 1, else return n into factorial of n minus 1. I will explain this program clearly, don't worry. So here you can see, here factorial is my function name and the function call is present inside my function itself. So this is a recursive function. We call it as recursion. Now I need to call this function, right? Suppose if I say result equal to, as I am using return here, if I directly call the function, I will get nothing as output. I need to print this function call, or else I can assign this function call to a variable and I can print that variable. I have two ways. So factorial of 4, and if I print result now, I will get the desired output. So what is happening here inside this program? Basically, it is just 3 lines program, but there is lot of things here which we need to discuss. So listen to my words carefully now. Just concentrate for a few more minutes. You will understand the concept of finding factorial of a number using recursion clearly, because it is little bit hard concept. So first let us trace out this program step by step. So the first step, listen to my words carefully. I am repeating once again. So at line number 25, I am having a function call, right? So factorial of, I am saying factorial of 4. So now 4 will get stored inside this n parameter. Now n is equal to 4. All right. So what is my if condition? If n equal to 1, then I am returning 1. Is n equal to 1? No, right? N is 4. So this condition will become false. So here the code, the line number 23 will get executed. So here I am returning n into factorial of n minus 1. I will explain slowly also, don't worry. So what is the value of n now? N is 4, right? 4 into factorial of, I will copy this. 4 into factorial of, what is 4 minus 1? Here I am saying n minus 1, right? So what is 4 minus 1? 3, right? 4 minus 1 is 3. Now this is our first recursion step. Now our second recursion is, it will be for factorial of 3. Now I am calling this function once again, but here I am decrementing the value of n. So in the second step of recursion, the value of n will be 3. So now again check out the function. Let us trace this program. Now what is n? N is 3, right? Is 3 is equal to 1? No, false. So it will not return 1. Instead, it will return this. So here n is 3. So 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1. So 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1. What is 3 minus 1? 2, right? So this is our second recursion. Now third recursion. So in the third recursion, we are checking for factorial of 2, right? So again, I am calling this function. Now the value of n is 2. So is 2 equal to 1? No, 2 is not equal to 1. So the code present inside this if block will never get execute. Now what is the next code? We have n into factorial of n minus 1. Now the n is 2, right? So 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1. So at next recursion step, we will get this output 2 into factorial of 2 minus 1. What is 2 minus 1? 1, right? 2 minus 1 is 1. Now our final recursion step. So now I am calling this function factorial once again, but now this time the value of n is 1. All right. So now check out this if condition. Is 1 equal to 1? Yes, 1 is equal to 1. This condition became true. So this time this function will return 1 as output. So it will return 1. If I call factorial of 1, it will return me 1. So now what is factorial of 1? factorial of 1 is 1. So now here it will go reverse. Now factorial of 1 is 1. Why? Why? Because here I am using a if condition. Suppose if the value of n is 1 means my function will return 1. That's it. Now here I am checking for factorial of 1. What is factorial of 1? 1. So 1, and before that previously I am multiplying it with 2, right? 2. So it will execute in the reverse order now. So factorial of 1 is 1 and I am multiplying it with 2, right? 2 into factorial of 1 is 2 into 1. What is 2 into 1? 2 ones are 2, right? Now, what is factorial of 2? So factorial of 2 is 2 into factorial of 1. Let me repeat once again. Factorial of 2 is 2 into factorial of 1, right? So what is 2 into factorial of 1? 2 into factorial of 1 is 2. So now, all right. So factorial of 2 is 2. Now we know that. So I am going to say 2 here, but before that I need to multiply 2 with 3. I am multiplying 3, right? I am multiplying 3 into factorial of 2. We know that factorial of 2 is 2. So here I am multiplying 3 with 2. What is 3 2s are? 3 2s are 6, right? Now 3 into factorial of 2 is 6. 2 into factorial of 1 is 2 and 3 into factorial of 2 is 6. Fine. Now, so here we already have 4 here. So I am going to say 4 into factorial of 3. What is factorial of 3? Factorial of 3 is 3 into factorial of 2. Let me repeat once again. Factorial of 3 is 3 into factorial of 2. What is the result of 3 into factorial of 2? I got 6, right? So now here I am going to multiply 4 with 6. What is 4 times 6? 4 6 are 24. So finally, if I say factorial of 4 means, then I will get this output 24. So here I am going to say step 0 is I am calling factorial of 4. I am calling factorial of 4, right? Here I am calling my function factorial of 4. Now 4 will get assigned to n. So like this, my program will work and I will get 24 as answer. So what is factorial of 4? Factorial of 4 means multiplication of all the numbers between 1 to 4. So 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 is equal to 24. So like this, factorial of program factorial using recursion works in Python. So I will explain this once again. So initially I am calling this function with n value as 4. Here I am passing 4, which means 4 will get stored inside n. So is n equal to 1? No. So now this return statement will execute. So 4 into factorial of 3, n minus 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So 4 into factorial of 3. In the next recursion step, I will get 3 into factorial of 2. So again, I will get 2 into factorial of 1. So what is factorial of 1? So factorial of 1 is 1. Why? Because in case if n is equal to 1 means I am returning 1. My function is returning 1. So here I am calling factorial function with n value 1. So this time this factorial of 1 will return me 1. So here I am multiplying 2 with factorial of 1. So 2 into 1 is equal to 2. And in the next step, I am having 3 into, so like this factorial programs works in any programming language. First, it will perform function call repeatedly. After that, it will go in reverse order like this. So what is 3 into factorial of 2? So factorial of 2 is nothing but 2 into factorial of 1, which is 2. So 3 into factorial of 2 is 3 into 2. 3 2s are 6. Next, I need to find factorial of 3. So what is factorial of 3? 3 into factorial of 2, right? So 3 into factorial of 2 is 3 into 2, which is 6. Now factorial, which means factorial of 3 is 6. Now I am multiplying this with 4. So 4 into 6 is 24. So like this, factorial programs works in any programming language. And in this way, you can find factorial of a number with the help of recursion. So if I run this program now, you can see here I got output as 24. Suppose if I say factorial of 5, I will get output as 120. Why? Why? Because 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 is equal to 120. So if I run this, you can see here I got output as 120. So let me repeat once again. Factorial is nothing but, so factorial of n is multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to n. Factorial of 5 means multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to 5, which means 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, which will be 120. Now we have seen how to find factorial of a number with the help of recursion. So what is meant by recursion? Suppose if the function call is present inside function itself, then we call it as recursion. Let me repeat once again so that you can remember this point forever. You need to remember this point forever. It is very important. In lot of interviews, they ask these kind of questions. They will simply ask what is meant by recursion. So they will ask mm, what is the use of recursive functions, like that. So here the point is, suppose in case if the function call is present inside the function itself, means we call it as a recursive function. So recursion will happen now, which means function will get called recursively again and again. So here I am calling first, I have used factorial of 4. So factorial of 4 means uh, 4 is not equal to 1. So the code present inside this if block will never get executed. So 4 into factorial of 3 in the next step, 3 into factorial of 2 in the next step, 2 into factorial of 1. So what is factorial of 1? If n is equal to 1 means I am returning 1, right? So factorial of 1 will be 1. So what is 2 into 1? 2 into 1 is 2. Next again, I know that now factorial of 2 is 2. So 3 into 2 is 6. Similarly, now factorial of 3 is 3 into factorial of 2, which is 6. So factorial of 3 is also 6 now. So I am multiplying this with 4, right? So what is 4 into 6? 24. So like this recursion works in Python. So I hope you clearly understood the concept of recursion here. Recursion is nothing but a function call will present inside the function itself. Now we will see how to find factorial of a number without recursion. Now we will discuss how to find factorial of a number without recursion. So here I am going to take input from the user now in the integer format. So I am performing typecasting also. Enter a number. Without recursion, we can use loops also. It is also simple only. I am going to use for loop here. So I am going to say for I in range 1 comma n plus 1, and also I need to store result in some variable. Initially, the value of result will be 1. So result equal to result into I, and finally I am going to print result. So I will explain what is happening inside this program now. So first I am taking input from the user and I am storing that in n. Fine. Now here what should I do? I need to perform multiplication of all the numbers from 1 to n. So I need all the numbers from, suppose if n is 5 means I need all the numbers from 1 to 5. Simply I can use for loop, right, for that. So I am using a for loop here with a range of 1 comma n plus 1. So in case the value of n is 5 means my range will be 1 comma 6. So it will start from 1 and it will end at 5. If it is 1 comma 6 means it will start from 1 and it will end at 5, because this is how range function works in Python. We know this. Now in the first iteration, the value of I will be 1 because my starting range is 1, right? So now here I am performing multiplication. That's it. So I have declared a variable called result. Initially the value of result variable is 1. So now here I am multiplying this result with I. So initially the value of I is 1. So result is also 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. 1 will be stored inside my result again. So in the next iteration, I will be 2. So now the value of result is 1. So 1 into 2 is 2. So 2 will be stored inside my result variable. In the next iteration, I will be 3. So the value stored inside result is now 2. So what is 2 into 3? 2 3s are 6. So 6 will be stored inside my result variable. In the next iteration, the value of I will be 4, right? Result is 6. I is 4. So what is 6 into 4? 24. 24 will be stored inside my result variable. So again, in the final iteration, the value of I will be 5. So the value stored inside result is 24 and I is 5. So what is 24 into 5? 24 into 5 is 120. So result will now 120 will get assigned to this result variable finally, and this loop will get terminated now. Now finally I am printing the value of result. So if I run this program, I need to enter a number. Suppose if I enter 5, you can see here I got output as 120. So like this, We can find factorial of a number using loops, or else we can use recursion also. You need to learn in both ways for the sake of interviews. So here, let me explain one more important thing here. Here, the result should not be 0. What will happen if it is 0? Let us consider now. Initially, I am storing 0 in my result variable. All right. So so in my first iteration, I is 1, right? So result is 0. What is 0 into 1? 0. If we multiply anything with 0, I will get result as 0 only. So that's the reason why we should not initialize this result variable with 0. It is mandatory to initialize this variable with 1. And also you should start the range from 1. If you start the range from 0, so first the value of I will be 0. So in case if result is 1, means 1 into 0 is 0. Now 0 will get stored inside my result variable. In the second iteration, I is 1. So result is 0. So 0 into 1, again 0. Again 0 is stored in my result variable. In the third iteration, I is 2. So result is 0. So 0 into 2, again 0. So that's the main reason why you should initialize the range with 1, and also you should initialize this result variable with 1. In case if you initialize it with 0, then you will get 0 as answer. Why? Because here we are performing multiplication, right? So in case of multiplication, if we divide any number with 0, we will get 0 only. That's the reason why we should initialize this with 1. So like this, you can find factorial of a number using loops, and also you can find factorial of a number with the help of recursion. So I hope you clearly understood today's topic, which is recursion. So just give me a confirmation message. I have enabled the chat section. If you don't have any kind of doubts, means let us continue our today's class with modules. So yes, Priyanka is saying clear. If you have any doubts, if you have no doubts, you can simply say clear. Okay, Vijay is saying continue. I am going to continue. Yes, for interview, both are important. So all right, thank you for confirming. So can you explain for loop recursion example by using comments? So here, no. First let us consider the value of n is 4. Consider now n is 4. My range is 1 comma 5. If n is 4 means 4 plus 1 is 5. So my range is 1 comma 5, right? Which means it will start from 1 and it will end at 4. So initially the value of I will be 1 in first iteration because the starting range is 1. So my result will be, I am going to copy this. Okay. Now initially the result will be 1, right? Why? Because initially I'm assigning 1 to the result variable. So 1 into I, what is the value of I in the first iteration? 1, right? So now 1 into 1 is 1, and 1 will get stored inside my result variable. Now in the second iteration, I is 2. So 1 into 2 is equal to 2. So here this is my I, and 1 is stored inside my result. Now like this it will work. So in the next iteration, I is 3 and the result is 2. So 2 into 3. So 2 3s are 6. In the final iteration, I will be 4 and 6 is stored inside my result, right? So 6 into 4. I is 4 now. So what is 6 into 4? 24. So these values 1, 2, 6, 24, they are assigned to my result variable in each and every iteration. And similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, these are the values of I, whereas 1, 2, 6, 24. In each and every iteration, these values 1, 2, 6, and 24 are getting assigned to my result variable. So like this for loop works. And also factorial of 1. Sujit is asking what is factorial of 1 will do. So here I am calling the factorial function. Now the value of n is 1, right? So here I am passing 1, which means 1 will be stored inside n. So here n is equal to 1. I am checking. Now the value of n is 1, right? So 1 is equal to 1. This condition became true. Now the code present inside this if block will get executed. So what is the code present inside my if block? I am simply returning 1, right? And yesterday I have told you that in case if there is a return statement means, then whatever the code that is present below that return statement will never get executed. So here now the return statement present inside my if block is getting executed because the condition became true. 1 is equal to 1. This time my function will return 1. That's it. This second return statement will never get executed now. Okay, I hope you understood this point. So in case if return 1 is executing means the second return statement which is present at line number 23, it will never get executed. So I am returning 1. So factorial of 1 is, I am just returning 1, which means factorial of 1 is 1. And I am multiplying it with 2. So 2 into 1 is 2. Similarly, factorial of 2 is now 2. So I am multiplying factorial of 2 with 3. So 3 into 2 is 6. Now we know that factorial of 3 is 6. Why? Because factorial of 3 means 3 into factorial of 2. That's it. So you can see here factorial of 3 means n value is 3 now. So 3 is not equal to 1. The code present inside this if block will not get executed now. So what is the next return statement? N into factorial of n minus 1. Now the n value is 3, which means 3 into factorial of 3 minus 1, which is 2. So factorial of 3 means 3 into factorial of 2, right? What is factorial of 2? Factorial of 2 is 6. So factorial of 2 is 2. I am multiplying 3 into 2, so I got 6, and factorial of 3 is 3 into factorial of 2, which means 6. So factorial of 3 is 6. So it is little bit confusing, I can understand, but just have a look at this code. By looking at this itself, you can clearly understand. So that's why I have clearly mentioned these things in comments. Like this recursion works. Now we know that factorial of 3 is 6. I am multiplying it with 4. So 4 into 6 is 24. I will get output as 24. Suppose if I call the factorial function with 4. So like this factorial works in Python. Anyways, I explained the loop and also factorial program once again. I hope you clearly understood now. In case if you have any doubts in factorial of 1 means, so here n value becomes 1. So 1 is equal to 1, which means the code present inside my if block will get executed, and I am simply returning 1 here inside my if block. That's it. So factorial of 1 is 1. So now we are going to discuss about modules. So I have created a new file here called as modules.py. So what is a module? Here the basic definition is module is nothing but a block of Python, not a block, module is nothing but simply Python program. That's it. Module is just a Python code, or else you can say a Python file also. Suppose here we have a file here, right? The name of our Python file is recursion.py, and we have some code inside this file, inside this Python file. So you can call this Python file recursion.py as a module. It is also a module only. So first, there are three types of modules. We are going to discuss about these three types, and today we are going to discuss about built-in module. So the first type of module is built-in module. The second type of module is user-defined modules. The third type of module is third-party modules. So these are the three types of modules. A module is nothing but a Python file. That's it. Remember like this. A module is nothing but a Python file or a Python program. So simply a module is nothing but a Python program. So there are three types of modules. So the first type is built-in module, built-in modules. Next we have user-defined modules. Again we have third-party modules. So what is meant by built-in modules? So built-in module means these modules comes along with the installation of Python. So we have built-in functions, right? So print is a built-in function, len is a built-in function, min, max, type, they are all built-in functions. So these functions comes along with the installation of Python. And after that we have seen how to create our own functions. We have created our own functions, and today's class also we have discussed about recursion, right? Here we have created our own function called recursion. We have created our own function called factorial here. So like this we can create our own functions. So here built-in modules mean similar to built-in functions. Built-in modules means these modules comes along with the installation of Python. So these modules comes along with the installation of Python. So these are built-in modules. These modules comes along with the installation of Python. Whenever we are installing a Python software, these modules comes along with the installation of Python. Now, what are user-defined modules? So we can also create our own modules. So here we can create our own modules. They are called as user defined modules. So we have user defined functions, right? So this factorial, it is a user defined function. I am defining this function and I am writing some logic inside this function. So this is my own function and it is a user defined function. Similarly, we can also create our own modules. They are called as user defined modules. And the last type is third party modules. So here third party modules means these modules does not comes along with the installation of Python. We need to install these modules separately. Of course, we are going to see how to install these modules and how to use these modules. So here these modules does not comes along with the installation of Python. We need to install these modules externally to use them. What is meant by module? Module is nothing but a Python code or a Python file. So we have three types of modules, built-in modules, which means these modules comes along with the installation of Python. Then we have user-defined modules. So here we are going to create our own modules. Similarly, we have third-party modules. So these third-party modules does not comes along with the installation of Python. We need to install these modules separately in order to use them. So I hope you understood the three types of modules, and now we know the definition of module. So in our today's class, we are going to discuss about built-in modules. So there are a lot of built-in modules available in Python. So here I am going to ask ChatGPT that I just want to check how many built-in modules available in Python. So I am going to ask what are the built-in modules available in Python. So you can see here, it will return really a long list. So which means there are a lot of built-in modules in Python. It is impossible for anyone to learn all these modules. You can see here, it has given me 20. Now read this line. These are just a few examples and there are many more modules available in Python standard library. Okay. So these are just a few examples. These 20 are just a few examples. Apart from these 20, we have a lot of modules available in Python. So here the thing is, so these are just built-in modules only. Apart from these built-in modules, we have third-party modules also. So basically, I can say like this: there are lakhs of modules available in Python. It is not possible for any human being to learn all these modules. So what can you do? What can we do? So depending upon our requirement, we will learn few modules. That's it. And also you don't have to remember how to use a module, because as I just now I have told that there are lakhs of modules available in Python. So it is not possible for anyone to remember all the functions that are available inside a module. It is simply not possible. So here what you should know how to find a module based upon your requirement. Suppose in case if you want to perform mathematical operations, then you need to know which module you can use. So how will you know? Simply search in Google. That's it. Search in Google, like, so how to perform how to find sine theta and cos theta values with the help of Python. It will return some answer. It will return math module. So you can see here there is a module called math. It is used to perform mathematical functions. All right. So like this, you need to search your requirement on the Google, or else you can ask ChatGPT or Bard AI. It's up to you. So depending upon your requirement, internet, which means Google, will return you a answer. So check out that answer. Now you will get to know which module you should use. Now learn few things about that module and start using that module. That's it. After using that module, just forget it. You don't have to remember all those functions and concepts. It is basically impossible for anyone to remember all those things. Suppose if you are using some of the modules in your daily life means, then you will remember those modules forever. That's it. So here I use this math module, random module, and I use OS module, and I use RE module, and after that I will use time module, and also I use date time module also I will use. That's it. So I will use these built-in modules, and also I will use a lot of third-party modules. So I hope you understood the concept of modules here. So basically, it is, you all can hear me, right? Okay, fine. So basically, it is not possible for anyone to learn all the available modules in Python. So first, you should know your requirement. Okay, while discussing about third-party modules, I will clearly show you how you can find a specific module depending upon your requirement. While discussing about third-party modules, I will explain you all those things. So today we are just getting started with modules. Now we know what is meant by module. Module is nothing but simply a Python code or a Python file. That's it. So there are some built-in modules which comes along with the installation of Python. And apart from that, we can create our own modules. And also there are some third-party modules which we need to install externally. How can we do that? Definitely, we are going to discuss about all those things in the upcoming classes. Now, let us discuss about these built-in modules. So basically, as you can see here, the answer of ChatGPT, there are these are just a few examples, and there are many more modules available in Python. So today, let us discuss about 2 to 3 modules. That's it. So first, let us discuss about math module. So as we are discussing about modules, we should need a syntax, right? We need a syntax regarding how to use this module. So first, we need to import this module. In case if we want to use any module in Python, then the first step is we need to import that module. All right. So with the help of import keyword, similar to for, while, else, elif, if, def, lambda, import is also a keyword like them. So this first we use this import keyword, and after import keyword we will specify our module name. So this is the syntax of importing a module. After importing this module, then we can basically make use of all the code present inside my module. So we know what is meant by module, but why do we need these modules? It is simply because it will be better, it is a better way to organize our code. And also, suppose um, okay, fine. I will explain the use of modules while discussing about third-party modules, because then only you will get to know. We have lakhs of third-party modules in Python, with the help of which we can do really amazing stuff. Okay. So a lot of students are asking like, sir, will you explain NumPy? Will you explain Matplotlib? And some are asking regarding Selenium. So this NumPy, Matplotlib, Selenium, TensorFlow, OpenCV, all these are third-party modules. We can't use them directly in our program. They are third-party modules. First, we need to install them. After installing, we can use them. In our upcoming classes, we will discuss about NumPy and all those things. Okay, you don't have to worry about that. Now we are discussing about built-in modules, right? So the syntax for importing any module is, first we need to use import keyword. After that, we need to specify the module name. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about math module. So I have used import keyword. After that, I am using math name. So math is name of my built-in module. So if I say import math, then all the code which is present inside this math module will come into my this Python file. The name of my Python file is modules.py, right? So the name of my Python file is modules.py. I am importing math module here. So with the help of this import statement, all the code, all the program which is present inside my math module will come into this program, into this Python file, modules.py. Now I can basically make use of all the functions which are available in math module. So there are a lot of functions. Actually, there are a lot of functions available in math module. So you can make use of the documentation here. Math module documentation. So this is the official website of Python, python.org. So this is the documentation of math module. So these are all the functions available in math module. So it is not possible for anyone to remember all these functions, and also it is not possible for anyone to teach all these functions. Okay. So don't worry about all these functions. Just to know, you should have knowledge. Like now I know how to use all the functions available in math module. How? I went to Google and I simply searched for math module documentation. After that, I got this website. I have entered this website. Now I can see all the built-in, all the functions which are available in math module. Now I can make use of them. That's it. You don't have to remember even a single function. Why? Because it is basically not possible for anyone to remember all those functions. Now I remember a few functions. Why? Because I have used them previously. So now we will see. Now we have successfully imported this math module, right? After importing, which means we can make use of all the code which is present inside my math module. So there are a lot of functions present inside my math module. So if I so in VS Code, if you press Control and if you click on math, it will redirect you to some other file. So this is the math module. This is the code present inside our math module. Okay, don't get confusion with all this code and just ignore it. I'm just showing you this. With the help of control, you need to press control key. After that, you need to click on math. After doing this, you will be redirected to the actual code which is present inside math module. So just ignore that code and remember that this math module is having some functions and we can use that functions. All right. So how can we call functions? Simple. First, we need to use module name. After that, function name. And after function name, it is mandatory to mention parentheses. That's it. So the syntax is module name dot function name and parentheses. And you need to pass some arguments depending upon the function. If that function is accepting arguments means you need to pass them. If it is not accepting arguments means you should not pass them. That's it. So this is the syntax to call a function. Now I am going to call a function called square root. We all know about square root, right? So what is square root of 36? 6. What is square root of 49? 7. So in mathematics, we have a concept called square root. Suppose if you want to find square root of a specific number, then you can use math module for that. So square root. So what is root of 49? Root of 49 is square root of 49 is 7. Why? Because 7 into 7 is equal to 49. 49. So this is the concept of square root in mathematics. So here I have a function called sqrt. So math is my module name, dot sqrt is my function name, and after that we need to use parentheses. And inside this parenthesis, we need to pass a number. If I pass 49 means I will get 7 as output. Why? Why? Because square root of 49 is 7. And also I think I need to print this. So like this, and if I run this program, you can see here I got output as 7.0. Suppose if I say 25 means I will get 5 as output. Why? Why? Because square root of 25 is 5. 5 into 5 is 25, right? So if I run this, you can see here I got 5 as output. If I say 36 means I will get 6 as output. Why? Because 6 into 6 are 36. So this is a like this we can use modules and the functions present inside those modules. So the square root is a function which is present inside my math module, and after importing math module I can call this square root function like this. My syntax is module name dot followed by function name and parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis we will pass arguments. So I hope you understood the concept of built-in functions. And also there are few more functions called fill. So if I say print math dot, why am I using this print function here? Because this sqrt function is returning the output. So there is no print statement present inside my sqrt function. There is only return statement. Okay, so it will return some value and I need to print that value to view on output screen. So math dot fill of 3.9. And if I run this, you can see here I got output as 4. So basically there is a function called ceil. It will return the ceiling of x. It will return the smallest integer greater than or equal to x. Suppose 3.2 means I will get 4. Okay, so there is a function called ceil which is used to round a number. So if this ceil function will take a floating point number and it will return the rounded number. Okay, how this will perform round operation? Suppose if the value is greater than 3.0 means I will get output as 4. So if value is greater than n.0 means we will get output as n plus 1. So here I am saying 3.1. Technically, if we round 3.1, we should get 3. But there is a function called sale which will return us 4. If I say 3.1, you can see here on the terminal I got 4. If I say 3.9 also, I will get output as 4. If I say 4.1 also, I will get output as 5. So what is this seal function doing? So it will, if the value which we are passing here, suppose consider this as n.0, if it is greater than n.0 means n.1, n.2 until n.9. If it is greater than n.0 means we will get output as n plus 1. So here my value is 4.1, which is greater than 4.0. So I will get output as 5. You can see here I got output as 5. So like this seal function works in Python. And I'm just explaining about these functions, and to be frank, I never used this seal function. So it is one function available in Python, that's it. So there is a function called floor. It is exactly opposite to seal function. If I say math.floor of 4.9, you can see here I got output as 4. So what is happening here? So here the definition is floor function. If the value is greater than n.0 means it will return us output as n. That's it. So here I am passing 4.9. I got output as 4. If I say 4.1 also, I will get output as 4. So here have a look at the definition. If the value which I am passing is n.0 means, if it is greater than n.0 means, we will get output as n. It doesn't matter whether it is 4.9 or 4.5 or 4.1. I will get output as 4 in case of floor function. In case of floor, this floor is a function available in math module. Similarly, there is a function called seal. So if the value is greater than n.0 means I will get output as n plus 1. Suppose if I am passing 4.1 means I will get output as 5. If I am passing 4.9 means I will get output as 5. So these are the two functions available in math module to round a number. Okay, and also this is my favorite function. I will use this function to round a number. So this round function, it does not belong to my math module. So basically this round function will not belong to my math module. It is totally a separate built-in function similar to len, min, max, and print, type. All those are built-in functions, right? Similarly, this round is also a built-in function. If I pass this number, if I pass a floating point number, it will return me a rounded number. If I pass 5.2, I got 5. If I pass 5.4, again I will get 5. If I pass 5.5, now I will get 6. So this is the valid or proper method of rounding in a floating point number. Suppose if the value is above n.5 means greater than or equal to n.5 means we should get output as n plus 1. In case if the value is less than n.5 means in that case we should get output as n. So don't worry, I will write definition for that also. So round, so this round is a built-in function. It has nothing to do with math module. So as I have explained about floor and seal, I am simply explaining about round function also. So if the value is greater than or equal to n.5 means then we will get output as n plus 1. And if value is less than n.5 means we will get output as n. That's it. So here I am passing 5.5, right? So 5.5 is which means 5 here I am having 0.5. Suppose after point I am having 5 or greater than 5 means I will get output as 6. You can see here I got output as 6. If I say 5.6 or 5.9, I will get output as 6 only. Suppose if I say 5.4, now I will get output as 4. So this is a this time I will get output as 5, not 4. I'm sorry. So this is the proper method to round a floating point number. So you can use this round. It is a built-in function available in Python. In case if I say 6.3 means what will be the output now? So 6.3 is less than or equal to 6.3 is less than 6.5 here. So here n value is 6, right? So according to our definition, if the value is less than n.5 means we will get output as n. Now the value of n is 6. So 6.3, I am passing 6.3. 6.3 is less than 6.5, right? So which means it will return us n. What is n? 6. So if I run this program, you can see here I got 6. Suppose it is 6.8. So 6.8 is greater than or equal to 6.5. According to our definition, if the value is greater than or equal to n.5, now n is 6. So 6.8 is greater than 6.5, which means it will return us output as n plus 1. So what is n plus 1? 6 plus 1 is 7. If I run this, you can see here I got output as 7. So just read this definition, you will understand clearly. So this is round function in Python. So just ignore this floor and fill functions in case if you have any kind of confusion. Otherwise, you can simply read this definition. You will clearly understand what is happening inside this function. Okay, suppose if you are good at mathematics, I am not. You can find sin theta and cos theta values also. Don't ask me why we are getting this output because I also don't know. I got some 0.912. I also don't know about sin theta, cos theta. In case if you are good at maths, means you can use this. Don't ask me what is happening here. If I say cos of 50, I got some other value. Okay, so basically we can make use of sine, cos, tan, a sin, a cos, a tan. Basically there are a lot of functions. So that's the thing. And don't ask me what is happening here because I also don't know. I don't know mathematics. Okay, if you are good at mathematics, use this sine theta and cos theta functions. All right. So this is math module in Python, and there are a lot of functions available inside this math module. You can go through one by one, or else just ignore it. You don't have to go through one by one. You will get confusion. That's it. If I say print math dot POW of 4 comma 2. Now I will get output as 16. So this is a function called POW power, which is used to find power. So this is same as 4 power 2. We can use this arithmetic operator also, or else we can use this function in mathematics called POW. So if I say math dot POW of 4 comma 2, so 4 to the power of 2 will be returned as output. If I say 5 comma 3, 5 to the power of 3 will be returned as output. So 5 into 5 into 5 is 125. 5 over 3 is 125. So like this, there are a lot of functions available in math module. So this math is a built-in module, and you can make use of built-in modules like this in Python. You don't have to install these modules because these comes along with the installation of Python. And what is meant by module? In simple terms, module is nothing but some other Python file or Python code. That's it. So I hope you clearly understood the concept of math module. And if you have any doubts regarding modules, you can ask me now. And if you have patience, I can explain about one more module also called OS module. If you want, I can explain today, or else we can. I will explain it on Monday. It is fine. So, Shekhar, for in case of round function, if I say 6.5 means I will get output as 7. Why? Because 6.5 is greater than or equal to 6.5, right? So I will get output as n plus 1. If n is 6 means I will get 7 as answer. So this is our round function, right? If I say 6.5, I will get 7 as answer. 6.5 got 6. Just wait for a second. Okay, I'm sorry. I just need to change the definition here. I should remove this equal. All right. That's it. Suppose if the value is greater than 0.5 means then only we will get n plus 1. Otherwise, we will get n. So a small correction over here. In case if it is 6.5 means I will get 6 as answer. If it is 6.6, so 0.6 is greater than 0.5, right? Now I will get n plus 1 as answer. So 6 plus 1 is 7. Similarly for 8.5, if it is 8.5 means I will get 8 as answer because 8.5 is not greater than 8.5. If it is greater than n.5 means then only I will get n plus 1 as output. If it is less than or equal to n.5, so 8.5 is less than or equal to 8.5. So I will get 8 as answer, which means I will get n. So if I run this, you can see here I got 8 as answer. And if I say 8.7, I will get 9 as answer. 0.7 is greater than 0.5. So I will get n plus 1 as answer. Okay. Thank you for identifying that. Second, great job. So, which Pushparaj, actually the point is we don't have that kind of function in math module. We have functions like floor and sale. It's up to them, right? So basically, those Python developers, those who created Python, they haven't created that function inside math module. Instead, they directly given a built-in function called round, similar to type, min, max, len. So we can uh, without importing math module itself, we can directly use round function because it is a built-in function in Python. So for 5.5, it given 6. Let me check it. For 5.5, I'm getting 6. For 6.5, I got 6. Suppose 4.5, 4.5, I'm getting 4. Okay. So the conclusion which I can make here is, in case this definition, which is present at line number 32, will work if the value of n is greater than 5. So if n is greater than 5, then this definition will work. If n is less than 5, then the new definition is if the value is greater than or equal to n.5 means we will get output as n plus 1, and if the value is less than n.5 means we will get output as n. So I don't know why it is happening like this. For 3.5 I got 4. For 4.5 I'm getting 4. 5.5 I got 6. 6.5 I got 6. 7.5 I got 8. Okay. So if n is, just give me a second, I will explain this. 2.5 I got 2. Actually, it is working based upon odd or even numbers. So here 4 is a 4 is a even number, right? So for even numbers, if it is 0.5 means, so for even numbers, if it is if my the value present after point is greater than or equal to 5 means we will get output as, if it is less than or equal to 5 means we will get output as n. So for 4.5 we will get output as 4. Similarly for 6.5, if I run this I got output as 6. Okay, so 6 is a even number. In case of even numbers, if the point value which is 5 is less than or equal to 5 means we will get output as n. So I got output as 6. If it is above 5 means, if the point value is above 5 means, now it is 0.8 here. So 0.8 is greater than 5. So I will get output as n plus 1. So 6 plus 1 is 7. So I got output as 7. Now let us consider odd numbers. So 3.5, it is an odd number, right? In case of odd numbers, if it is 3.5 means I will get output as 4. So in case of odd numbers, mm, suppose if the value after point is greater than or equal to 5 means, then we will get output as n plus 1. So in case of 3.5, 3 plus 1 is 4. I got output as 4. Similarly, in case of 5.5 also, I will get output as 6. So just read these two definitions. In case of odd means it will work like this. In case of even means, our Python round function will work like this. So just to read these two definitions, you will clearly understand. Okay, I hope you understood this. Okay, fine. We will continue the next module, which is OS module, in tomorrow's class. So Gaud, we use recursive functions actually. Instead of recursive functions, we can use loops also. For finding factorial of a number, we can either use recursive function or else we can use loops also. It is totally up to us. Instead of recursion, we can use loops also. It is just a concept available in Python. So in some case, you can use recursive functions. It is not mandatory to use. You can fulfill your requirement with the help of loops also. Okay, but just learn the concept of recursion. It is very important in case of interviews. Yeah, yes, Kavya. So just now I figured that out. So for even it is different, for odd it is different. Yes, yes, Vamshi, that's the final answer. Great. Okay, I will stop the recording now. If you have any more doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise,